I wanted to talk about the topic of depression after surgery, particularly an ACL surgery, because that's what I have and that's what I can talk about. So it's easy to go on social media after you've had a surgery like this and try to find people to connect with and that have gone through the same thing that you have. The downfall with that is people can pick and choose what they post on social media. We all do. We're not going to post, you know, all of our garbage and how we're really feeling. I mean, some people do, but in general, most people are not going to do that. They're going to post themselves like doing out of the ordinary, crazy, awesome things, and they're not going to really talk about the real struggle that they're having mentally or physically. They're only going to post the most positive things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're going through something like this, you have to remind yourself of that, because it's like people would post things, oh, like 3 days after surgery, they're at the gym, like doing something, and you're like, why am I not doing that? And then you end up feeling really, really down on yourself. But these people that are doing this, they're not talking about the other half of the story, what's going on up here. I think a lot of people feel the depression after this surgery, and you need to know that you're going to be fine, and you will get through it. It's just something, it really does happen, and it's unfortunate. When you're used to working out every day or playing your sport, a lot of people, you know, soccer, basketball, a lot of people who play sports end up identifying with the sport so much. I know that I started to identify with jiu-jitsu so much because it was something that I was doing almost every single day, and I became that person over a year and a half, and then all of a sudden it was just taken away from me, and then I was just kind of like, what do I do with myself? And that's all people would ask me about or talk to me about. It's like, how's jiu-jitsu going and stuff. And then when it was gone, I was seriously depressed. And the other part of it is having your super athletic body, and then all of a sudden your leg looks like freaking, like it's off of a Martian or something, and you're just looking down and you have this like one super muscular leg, and then you have this other atrophied leg that looks like it doesn't even belong in your body. It was so hard for me to wrap my head around, and it affected me so much to the point where I almost feel like I have a little bit of like PTSD from it, because sometimes I still feel like I look like that. I still feel like my leg looks like it once did, and it's hard for me to get over it. Muscle atrophy happens over a week's time. It just completely goes away, and it's shocking. It really is. I felt like I didn't want to leave my house. I was just embarrassed. I was wearing the big clunky brace, and then in my first surgery, I didn't even want to take the brace off. At first, I felt like my leg was going to crumble without it, but then after I got a little bit more strong, I realized, I'm like, I don't even want to take this off because my leg looks so scary. I'm so embarrassed of it. And I think I didn't wear it longer, but I would wear baggy clothes all the time, and I was super insecure about it, and it was something I just wasn't expecting it to happen, so that's why it was so hard for me to get over it. After my second surgery, the atrophy was not as bad. I mean, my leg still wasn't where it should be after the first surgery. I don't know why, I just couldn't get it to where it needed to be. And even now, it's still not where it needs to be, but I'm not insecure about it like I was. I knew what I was getting into, and I knew what to expect and stuff, so it was a little bit easier to get through the second surgery with the whole muscle atrophy and everything. But I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want people to see me. I didn't want to wear a bathing suit. It was summertime. It really was hard on me because at the time I was a little vain, and I did kind of, you know, I'm young, I'm a girl, I want to be pretty, and I didn't feel pretty. I felt disgusting, and I was just so embarrassed of what I looked like. I cried every single day. I tried to put on a happy face and tried to get through everything, and I did, and I still continue to, but I just was so unhappy on the inside. I felt like my relationships, like with my parents and my relationship with my boyfriend, was deteriorating. Because I secluded myself a lot of the time, and it was like a really, really, really hard time. And I just want people to know that it's normal to go through that. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, well, you know, there's way worse things that can happen to you, like people get mangled in car accidents, and yeah, that's very true. But this is like the first thing in my life that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through, that like up until this point. So you can't really judge the way people feel and like the depression that they feel, because if it's something that is like catastrophic to them in their life, that then you can't say that they have no right to be upset about it. Because it's kind of like, okay, let's say there's a super fucking rich girl and her parents give her everything she wants, and then all of a sudden they don't give her anything. They're like, you need to go out and do something on your own. The depression that she might feel might be on the level that I do, but to me that sounds so stupid. So it's important to not judge people for what makes them upset and what doesn't make them upset, and to try not to compare that to you. I think that it's always important for people to find something that doesn't have anything to do with the physical world. It's like you need to find like your spirituality, whether you're religious or you like to meditate or do whatever. I think that that aspect, like taking care of your mind, is super, it's just so important, especially during this time. I got really deep into my faith because I felt like I had nothing. I mean, I wasn't getting what I needed from, you know, people, so I started praying a lot, and that's, honestly, I feel like that's what really got me out of my depression and gave me the motivation to get up. It was like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna do whatever, I'm gonna feel this depression, feel it to its fullest so that I can move on from this. And I think that's also really important, is to super, like, really feel whatever you're feeling, cry and talk about it and everything, because if you don't, then you kind of hold on to it. And so I made sure that if I wanted to cry, that I cried, but I still went to the gym and I was still pushing, because I'm just like, I'm sitting here, and this physically sitting here is not going to make my leg be like the other one. So even if I was having a horrible day, like I still went up, I still went to the gym, or I still laid in my bed and I did my exercises. And I feel like that really, having like this mindset, and even watching like motivational YouTube videos and all this stuff, I did this all day long, and then all of a sudden I had this like burning motivation inside me to just keep going and keep pushing, even when people kind of flopped off, and a lot of the people that I expected to really like think I was gonna come back to jiu-jitsu and like hit it hard and stuff, they didn't. Really, really hard for me to accept, and that like certain people are not who like you thought they were. I depended too much on other people to push me forward and everything, and so I started taking the reins on my own, and I started, you know, digging deep into my faith, and like, you know, watching positive things, even though I kind of just didn't want to. I almost was kind of stuck in this rut where I almost like wanted to be there. It was strange. But I'm so proud of myself for getting out of that, and I feel like it's still a daily struggle. But I just wanted to make this video because I feel like people need to know that it's okay to feel depressed in points in your life, but to know, like, feel everything to the fullest and take it for what it is, but still don't stop moving forward. Even though you feel the way you do, these things, they can pass. Or, you know, I mean, they did for me, and I hope that they do for you too. So I just want to let you guys know that not everything is always perfect, and social media is so distorted these days that you can't get everything from there. And I don't know, I hope I can help someone with this video, so I'll talk to you guys later.